Hello and welcome, Wadikani. It's great to see you again. I hope you're all well and enjoying this journey that we're on of self-discovery and life. The whole of life is this journey of self-discovery. There's nothing else. All the things that we see around us, all the negative and positive circumstances that we go through, everything is geared to us learning who we are in spirit, who we really are, and who we will always be, and who we always have been. That's all this is about. We just get attached and begin to think that everything that we see is real, but nothing is real. It is all a mechanism to help us as souls to understand and realize and remember who we are. That said, I wanted to talk today about something that is really, really close to my heart. And it's this question of how we embody our bodies. What that means is how we as spirit live in and move in and inhabit this home of our human body. So often, and the reason that this is so close to my heart is because it's something that I am working on and have worked on, and I hope I will not always work on it, but something that has been a very strong pattern in me of not inhabiting my body comfortably, of trying to shift my body and contort it and shape it to make others comfortable with me, instead of fully inhabiting it in confidence and love and joy and fluidity. And so my body has been one of the best mechanisms for me to see where I am still holding pain, where I'm still holding shame, where I'm still holding things that do not serve me, conditioning, programs and patterns that may have been useful to me as survival mechanisms when I was a child and growing up, but now are just absolutely not useful whatsoever. But because these are such deeply ingrained patterns, and they're so deeply ingrained that they've found nooks and crannies in my body in which the body itself is shaped according to these emotions and patterns, and the body itself holds them. I've had to do a lot of work with my body and a lot of self-awareness, in moment-to-moment self-awareness, in order to open it and to allow it to be the incredible, joyous, energetic, beautiful mechanism that it is, because the body carries so much energy and so much wisdom and so much intelligence, but we shut it down, our minds shut it down because of patterns that we have seen as useful to us growing up. So, example, I tend to just try to make myself a bit smaller, just a bit. I see it as, kujini ni pisa, to make myself more humble, to make myself a bit more palatable to people. Oh, look, she's so sweet, she's so nice. She wouldn't hurt you. I'm like, don't worry, I won't hurt you. I won't hurt you. Look, I'm just really benign, nothing terrible. So don't come for me. Don't stab me. Don't hurt me, because look, I won't hurt you. And it's this this message that I was given throughout my life, that to be a person who comes across as humble, to be a person who comes across as just quietly carrying themselves along is a good way to travel through life. And when I saw people, especially, Kumba in Zimbabwe, when you see people walking, particularly women, with their chest out and just looking like, wow, you hear people saying, ende anozvinzwa, yeah, she feels herself. She feels herself. And then you think, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person that all these people are looking at and criticizing and shaming. And so I'm going to be the opposite of that. I'm going to have a little hunch. I'm going to just tighten myself up a bit and, akanaka. Such a good girl, so peaceful, so easy. But the problem with this seeking the payoff of not standing out, of not being vulnerable to attack, because that's what it feels like as a child, is that if I am fully myself, if I show up fully as myself, I will be attacked. What kind of message is that? What is that? How are we ever going to evolve and to move into a better place for all when we can't even be comfortable in our own bodies? So even now, walking outside, I have to be so conscious and aware. I can feel it right over here. It's like, I just want to go like this. I just want to shield myself a bit. Just want to make it feel to me like the world is a bit safer if I come across as not dangerous to the world. Walking like this, being open, that's not dangerous. Why is that? Why should I feel that it is dangerous to the world? And believe me, the world is not seeing me as dangerous. It's just like, oh, that person is. And what happens is actually when you are now embodying and when you are interacting fully with every part of your biological mechanism, then that is when the energy in your body flows, and that's when you come across as radiant, or people feel you as radiant, and you feel yourself as radiant. And that's when you no longer need to speak so much or anything, because you are just transmitting what it is to be spirit fully embodied in a body. And then spirit works through you through this bodily mechanism. But while we still have patterns, so it could be back pain, it could be neck pain, it could be pain in the shoulders, a lot of stresses here, I'm carrying the world in my shoulders. And, the payoff for that is I feel like I am contributing or working hard, which is very much encouraged in society, but completely unnecessary. So what I'm saying is that try and feel where your body automatically goes into protective postures or into patterns that aren't serving you anymore. So, if I'm, do I walk around more easily like this, just out and about, and then when I encounter maybe a black man or a white man or somebody who reminds me of someone very powerful in my childhood, does my body just want to shrink and become subservient? And can I be fully present and aware in that moment and have the courage to break that pattern and stand straight and fully be myself and fully radiate the confidence, self-love, and beingness in that moment, no matter how uncomfortable it might feel, no matter how much the system just wants to protect itself, and then have that moment pass and be like, wow, I'm still here. Nobody killed me. Nobody killed me. No one's going to kill you. No one's going to kill you. So having our bodies speak to us about where our fears are, where we may have been killed or stabbed in the past as children or ancestrally, think about it ancestrally. If we had ancestors who worked on farms, let's say, that were owned by colonizers or who were enslaved, the expectation of the boss would have been that the workers or slaves would be subservient and adopt a subservient posture like this. And why are you looking at me? Who are you looking at like that, boy? Yeah? So already you don't look anyone in the eye, you downcast your eyes, you do all these protective mechanisms as one of those ancestors in order to survive the day. But what could happen is that those mechanisms can then become a generational expectation. When you get home and you've been treated like that, completely emasculated, defeminated, dehumanized in those situations, then you come home and you're carrying that trauma and you don't know how to process that, and don't have the ability to shift that energy, especially in those traumatic situations and times. So you pass it on to your family. Iwe, Sanjitari Sodaru, don't look at me like that. Your level of your head needs to be lower than mine in any situation. Fugama, Neil, what are you so proud of? Who are you so proud of? Why are you standing like that, so proud? And this is passed on to the children and maybe to the wife. And now maybe even we still see it in our relationships with people who work for us, having this need to have respect for us shown through the embodiment of another, and making it a dangerous place for the other to be if they are fully embodied and showing up as their full selves. So we make it a dangerous place for them to be that way, so they find it more safe and protective to inhabit their body in a way that is pleasing to us. So can we let go of these two aspects? The first aspect where we are trying to please others and feel safe and to just get along in life, please. And allow ourselves to be vulnerable and allow life to prove to us that nobody's going to kill us. But actually, when we are fully inhabiting our bodies, that all of life becomes available to us. And number two, can we let go of the need for other people to diminish themselves to make us comfortable? And if someone, let's say someone in authority or a leader or a figure who is above you in the patriarchal, Western-centric hierarchy, or even in our own culture, if someone needs you to diminish yourself in order to make them comfortable, should that person really, really have so much influence in your life and on your thought, and on your behavior? Let's wake up. Let's wake up. Let's trust ourselves. Let's feel ourselves. Like that. Yes, like that. Let's feel ourselves. And we have to love ourselves and know that we are worthy, we are good, we have power. And then we can rock it. We can rock it. We can just be free, and allow others to be free. But if we are not expressing our freedom, if we're not giving ourselves that feedback, we find it very easy to jump onto others and want to bring others down to where we are comfortable with. So we have to give ourselves the gift of freedom in order that that gift of freedom spreads out like ripples on a pond. So let's feel our bodies, feel yourself. You know what, sometimes it can be so painful, to feel, and that's trauma. That is something that wants to be moved. And it's a gift. It's a gift. It's a gift to be able to notice, because when you notice, then you can move it, you can heal it, and you do it for all of us. So there are practices like yoga, for example, where, people feel very inflexible. That inflexibility, that lack of fluidity within the body is trapped emotion. So you can work with practices like that to help to open the body. I mean, there's some hip practices where sometimes you just cry because what has been held there, the fear that has been locked there by you over the years of, I don't know, being with a person in authority, and just clenching and never being who you are, just clenching. And where do you clench and where do you lock it? You lock it in your hip. And then you do a yoga practice and you open this hip and this hip is tight. And you're just like, what? And then maybe it starts to open gently as you are kind and compassionate with it and saying, I'm here, just let it go, just let it go. And then the tears come. All of it comes. All of that self-regulation, all of that self-abandonment comes. And you can hold yourself and love yourself and promise yourself that it will never be like that again. And that you being fully embodied in the highest expression of your self-love and power should not be of any threat to any other. And if anybody feels threatened by you being that way, or if anybody feels that you cannot be that way and show them respect, then they have more work to do than you do. Because respect is not about an external expression. Respect should never mean that you have to diminish yourself in order to show it. So I invite us all to feel our bodies and let our bodies show us and tell us where we are holding things that no longer serve us. And let's allow our bodies to let the energy flow. And let's see what is created from our full embodiment as souls in this body. Thank you.